What is up, gang? It is your boy Najee, aka TGU, and we back in the stew with another special treat for you, man. As you guys see by the title and the thumbnail, you guys are in for a treat, and this is again one of those not one-off, but more on like aside from what the main focus of the channel is, which is the music, which is the artists and all that other stuff. I kind of want to start branching in other forms of content to the channel, just trying to, not deviate, but expand my catalog a little bit, have influence here, influence there, just kind of just start touching into different areas that I find interesting and that I enjoy covering. So if you guys wish to continue to see this, I will make a playlist for this type of content on the channel, so go check that out at your latest convenience, whenever you want to just check it out, right? But today, see, if you didn't check out the last video I made of one of these, I said, I think it was horror movie characters that I could smoke in a fight. I'm going to go ahead and put the link to that in the description down below. Just make it a little easier for everybody. But you can also go to the channel. It's one of the more recent channels, or not channels, one of the more recent videos on the channel that you can go and just check out real quick, and then come back to this video if you want to check them out in order. But that's not necessary. You can just check this out and check the other one out afterwards if you want to. But today I'm going to go over horror movie. Hold on, I want to make sure I got this right. Horror movies that I could survive. Okay? And I made these as very difficult as possible. So we're going to see if I can survive these. If you guys happen to enjoy today's content, a like is greatly appreciated, and it is going a long way in showing me that you guys enjoy this content and wish for it to continue to be brought to the channel. If you happen to be a new viewer to the channel, big red button down below. Come join the gang today. We are on our way, just like I have it written on my calendar. We have it written right there in the corner. Let's get to 5K. Road to 5K. Come join the family today. We're on our way to 5K, and I would love to have you guys be a part of that. But without further ado, enough talking in the intro. Let's get to the list. So starting us off right off the rip, we're going to go ahead and just rip the Band-Aid off and get right to some of the more difficult ones. We got Alien. Now, it doesn't matter which timeline you decide to take this. I know the original Alien movie has kind of been remastered or remade in some ways multiple times at this point. And so we're going to just say, for simplicity's sake, the universe of the original Alien movie. Okay? You have to think about everything that happened in that movie. These are guys that are just out discovering new life, whatever the case may be, discovering things out in space, and they run across something, they bring it back on the ship, they don't know what's going to happen. And so would I survive this particular situation? I feel like as much as I just wouldn't trust to get too close to certain things and allowing things to, infest my being and start harboring my soul, my organs, and then bursting out of my body, it's hard to tell. And then not even just past that point. Say it happens to anybody else around me, okay? It happened to anybody else around me. I still have to worry about the looming threat of this gigantic black creature of unknown ability, origin, whatever, in this space shuttle. And there's really not that many places to hide and or run from this thing, because it's traveling all throughout the chutes and all types of stuff. My probability of surviving this situation is about, I'd say, 5%. I would say 5%. I like myself. I feel like, in most cases, I would find a way to think of a plan or try to outrun or outmaneuver and outwit the alien. But in a situation like this, where it's cramped spaces, there's not a whole lot of utility. There might be a certain weapon here or there to try to fight against the creature, but who knows if it didn't even work, because you don't know if this thing is resistant to certain things like ice cold temperatures or fire or things of that nature. You don't know. So overall, I think I have about a 5% probability of surviving Alien, but overall, I think I'm absolutely fucking cooked. All right, so now we have the Terrifier franchise. Terrifier, we're gonna just touch on the first Terrifier, and in the overall rules. I want to go over this again before I get too far into the list and then people are confused about what the criteria is here. So the criteria, and only one that really matters here, is that I am simply in the universe of the movie. Like, the movie would probably play out the way it plays out, but I would be one of the main faces and characters in the movie, right? And so everything that is going to transpire, everything that's going to happen, I have a potential of it happening to me, right? So I'm not like an outsider looking in and watching the scene like a viewer. I'm in the scene. I'm in the movie. So that's how I'm going about discussing and or talking about these movies, right? So for the Terrifier franchise, as you know, Art the Clown, the Terrifier clown villain dude, he goes around and causes absolute mayhem to anybody that happens to unfortunately cross paths with him. And so that would be me. I would be one of those people. Now, from what we've seen of Art the Clown, do I believe that I could survive in Terrifier? Um, hmm he seems to be like kind of like a Michael Myers-esque character. Like, you feel like he's in one area, but then he's all of a sudden in the next area right in front of you. He has multiple different tools to use. He at one point, and by the way, this is a spoiler for anybody that hasn't seen Terrifier the original, so go check that out and then come back and give you a second to leave. Okay, you should be gone. But he has a time where he's pulling out a gun from nowhere and shooting people. So like, yeah, he just has a lot of different wacky, wonky tools to just kind of just kill you and just get you out of the way. So, do I think I would survive Terrifier? I'm gonna go ahead and be modest, but also have a bit of confidence. I'm gonna go ahead and say I have about a 10% chance to survive Terrifier. The odds is, and this is my explanation for the 10%. The odds are that from what we've seen from the movies, the guys, they don't really get a chance to like fight back much of anything. He goes crazy on the guys. He goes crazy on the guys. The girls, he kind of like, lets them like, he tries to like torch them a little bit, plays with his food a little bit. But for the guys, he kind of just kills you, gets you out of the way. So, see, like, I'm thinking that there would be a scenario where I'm just not sticking around to see what he has cooking for me. I'm gonna get out of there and it's gonna be bon voyage. I'm out, I'm gone. But just that's me being hopeful. So I'm gonna go ahead and just keep it at 10% and we're gonna move on to the next one. All right, so now we got Predator. And with Predator, I think my odds of surviving Predator is 0%. I think I would absolutely die. I would be cooked, especially if I'm in the sight of the hunt, in a sense, from the Predator. I think I am absolutely cooked. I have a decent amount of survival skills, but nothing on par with being able to survive that guy. He would absolutely, or she, or it, whatever, they would absolutely cook my shit in 2 seconds. Just absolutely just end my shit in 2 seconds. I wouldn't know what hit me. I wouldn't know what was coming. It would just be like he could literally laser something through my forehead and I'll be dead. He could just blow a hole through my stomach. I'll be dead. He'd shoot my heart out. I'll be dead. So there's just so many options that this dude could just easily just go about just killing me in like 2 seconds. So would I survive the Predator horror franchise or even just the movie, whether you're talking about the original or the remakes or whatever the case may be? No. No, 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 no. I would absolutely die. All right, so we got an interesting one here with the Evil Dead movie franchise. We got Evil Dead. And you know what? Just to make it interesting, and I'm not going to do the original Evil Dead with like, Ash character and all that stuff. I'm going to do the, what was it? The 2013 remake. Was it 2013? I believe it's 2013. But we're going to do that series. And for this particular movie, I'm going to add an extra rule. I cannot be the guy with the glasses. And the reason I say that is because he is the one that ultimately summons the evil among them by reading out the words in the little book of human skin that was covered in barbed wire. So I want to touch on that real quick. You find a book in a basement, locked basement, where you go into this basement and there's a bunch of cryptic black arts, witchcraft shit all over the place. And you find this book made of human skin and wrapped in barbed wire. And then there's even warnings of you not to even mess with this book, right? And then you open this book, you force your way open this book. You just don't care. You're not going to listen anymore. You just think you know better. So you're going to open this book and then you're going to start reading words that you really don't understand. But you know how to say them because you just know the language, I guess. But like, none of this makes sense. None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. Leave the creepy basement alone. Leave the creepy basement alone and just enjoy the rest of the cabin. Just enjoy the rest of the cabin. Leave the creepy basement alone. But anyways, I can't be that guy. I can't be him. So I got to be every other character in the movie that just is unfortunately going to suffer the wrath of his idiotic decision making. And so would I survive the evil that is coming down onto us and possessing all of my friends one after the other to go on a murderous rampage and try to kill me? I think yes. And I'm going to say this in terms of the probabilities and the percentages. I'm going to say I have about a 75% chance to live in the Evil Dead. The reason is because I feel like I would see the first attack happen and then someone else would get infected. And I'll be like, okay, wait, hold on. I see what you're working with. I see what you're cooking. I know what's happening here. So I would then form a plan to like wrap myself up, you know what I'm saying? Get weapons. And the next time somebody is infected or whatever, I'm cooking them. I'm not hesitating, nothing. And you might think, oh, you're just capping. Yeah, if it was your family member or your friend, you have to understand when it comes to your own personal survival, you have to be willing to do some of the most just the most gruesome, vile shit you can possibly think of. And so I would be one of those people. So I would give myself a 75% chance. The only 25% chance of me dying or just it being impossible is, say it's just like my little sister or something. I probably would just have to let myself get folded if it's my little sister. I can't kill my little sister. I just can't do it. If it's my little sister, I just can't do it. Anybody else, I'd find the strength. I would find the strength, but my little sister, I can't do it. All right, so we're about halfway through, and to keep this train going, we're going to go ahead and get to the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, the universe of Freddy Krueger, one of the horror icons and the scene of horror. Would I survive Nightmare on Elm Street? I have to think if Freddy is really out to get me and like really has his sights set on killing me and having me be tortured eternally in his little slumber torture chamber, then I'm thinking my chances to survive, and I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a 20% chance to survive this. And the reason is because once you become sleep deprived enough, nothing will stop you from going to sleep. Nothing will stop you from going to sleep. You can chuck back as much coffee as you want. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. But at the end of the day, you're probably gonna stay awake or not stay awake. You're gonna go to sleep at some point, basically, right? I think in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, right, with the one that a lot of people didn't really like the direction they were going with, and then something about the actors and shit like that. But anyways, there was a scene there where one of the kids pumped themselves full of adrenaline to stay awake. I think that's a clever idea, and I think that would probably work a number of times. I think it's kind of hard for the body to resist that jolt and to just get you up. But how many times can you helpfully just pump that into you and just keep on doing that until you just croak because you trying your best to stay awake at that point? Your brain probably would just stop functioning. Honestly, you probably would start daydreaming. He probably would get you while you're awake because you're just daydreaming now. Now you can't even escape him in your awake times. You're just cooked. You go to sleep, you're cooked. You're awake, you're cooked. Everywhere you're cooked. So it's, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and say about 20% chance to survive. 20% chance to survive, and it's only because if I was to find a way to defeat Freddy before I got, you know, whether it's I'm getting got in his little dream world while I'm sleeping, or I get got because I'm just up and I'm just becoming sleep deprived, and now I'm hallucinating and daydreaming in real life now and in my wake time. So I think that's the only way I beat Freddy, but otherwise, I think he's got my number. Now, this one's an interesting one. I don't think a lot of people cover this too many times, but we got the Hellraiser franchise. We got Hellraiser, Mr. Pinhead, and the other Cenobites. Do I believe I would survive Hellraiser? Now, I could do the very easy, simple question or answer, and it would be 100% probability of surviving this, and that is to just simply not mess with the box. The box would be the thing that would summon the Cenobites to my location, to where I would then die, because they would drag me into eternal damnation and eternal torture and suffering, as they call the sweet suffering that I would be subjected to for their enjoyment and their whatever, however they get off from that shit. But I would be the one suffering from that. And so my easy answer would be to just simply not mess with the box. But clearly, that's a focal point of the movie, so I don't think that taking the box away would just, you know, be I guess justifiable, or just be the way I would want to do that. So what I'm gonna say instead is that I would probably be one of them people that would find someone else for them to take on for their torture entertainment. Okay, so I'm gonna give myself 50-50 on this one. 50-50. If I find out a way, if I'm like one of the smart few to like figure out the box's way of doing things, and I find a secondary sacrifice or somebody else to give away so that they can take for them, then that'd be what I do. But yeah, this is up in the air. You can honestly say, you know, you're cooked, or you could say that you'd find a way. I personally just want to just leave it 50-50. But let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments down below. You think you would survive Hellraiser? I would love to hear from y'all. Let me hear what y'all guys say in the comments. All right, so we got a few more here, and this one is a interesting one. I don't think people really talk about this movie that much anymore, and that's a shame, because it's a really interesting one. It's very, it makes you mad, like it just really boils your blood. But it is definitely one of the more interesting horror franchises. It's not even a franchise. It's just like, I believe it's like a one-off movie. It has a remake in like 2008. But we have Funny Games. Now, Funny Games follows, I believe, two brothers, and they go and they basically torture this family, keep them hostage, and just kind of just, you know, play games with them, and mentally try to torture them and break them down before they actually finish them off and kill them. So would I survive Funny Games? Absolutely not. No, I would absolutely I would die. And the reason for that is, and why it's so just 100% I would die, is because we see it a part of the movie. By the way, again, spoiler if you haven't seen Funny Games. I'm assuming you skip through this part, or you just, yeah. But anyways, spoiler alert for this part. In the movie, we see that they grab the remote and rewind time so that when one of them got, like say, so one of the protagonists in the movie, they got the jump on them. They pop one of the boys, and that boy's dead. And then the other boy, he grabs the remote and he rewinds time, and then goes back to the point where I believe the woman grabbed the gun to try to shoot them. And then instead of her being able to grab the gun, he grabs the gun. He's like, no, we're not doing that. I'm like, what the fourth wall is going on? Like, yo. And then there's another part where she's trying to grab the knife, and they grab the knife from her, and they just throw it off the boat. So they just seems like they're out of their own universe. They're just like a viewer like us. They're just taking over the fucking movie, making this shit up off the fly, And I just don't think I'd be able to survive something that can literally just rewrite the events of the movie. So I feel like my chances of surviving this are absolutely zero. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna be confident. I'm not gonna be boastful and hubris. I'm done. I'm done here. I'm getting killed. You can't save me. I don't care. I'm done. All right, so now we got one of those Rob Zombie classics, if you will. The Devil's Rejects. And this is off of that, what are they called? The Firefly House or whatever the hell they're called. But yeah, the House of a Thousand Corpses, you know, that type of movie franchise, all that goes together, the Rob Zombie movies. Would I survive the Devil's Rejects? If I'm on the warpath, if I'm on if their sights are set on getting me, or if I happen to just come across their path and you know they want to go ahead and make me their plaything for the day, I guess, then I'm gonna say like I'm gonna say 60%. I'm gonna say I'm a 60% chance to survive in this one. And the reason I say 60 is because realistically, these are not like supernatural beings. These are human beings simply just going around causing all sorts of mayhem and mischief and crazy shit. And every time they do decide to like let loose and kill a bunch of people, it's in isolated situations. They don't do it in like large areas with like a lot of eyes on them. They know how to move around like serial killers, so they go and they isolate people and then torture and kill them. So I just feel like I wouldn't be the person in that situation. I would be the person with a group of people, loaded up and, you know, ready for whatever smoke you got. So I'm going to give myself a 60% chance to survive this one. I think the only times that I would be subjected to getting caught up is if I happen to just somehow go off on my own and then I happen to run across these people. But I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick with 60. All right, I've been doing a lot of talking. We got two more, though. Two more franchises. So we're going to go ahead and take a turn for the worst and turn wrong turn. Turn wrong turn. I could have hit that better. But anyways, we got wrong turn. So, obviously with this franchise, I just want to touch on this real quick. The franchise gets considerably worse the more movies we go into the franchise. But we're just going to touch on the first wrong turn real quick. So, I'm assuming I'm in the same situation where, you know, I've crashed my car, there's no other vehicle really in sight, and there's just vast woods everywhere in this long, not abandoned road, but this long like stretch of highway road, whatever, in this wooded area, and I don't know where I'm at and I don't know where to go. So would I survive wrong turn? And by the way, while I'm stranded and this is happening, there's a group of cannibalistic hunting men out there in the woods looking to eat me alive. Or just, you know, whatever the case may be. Prepare me, eat me, whatever the case may be. Eat my eyeball, eat my liver, whatever the case may be. So, would I survive wrong turn? I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a 20% chance to survive. I think most of the time I'm just cooked. I'm in this woods, like I said, I'm in this wooded area, miles and miles stretched wooded area where I have no idea where the hell I'm going, or if I'm even going the right way towards civilization and towards any sort of help, or if I'm going towards the cannibals. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know how to, you know, navigate this area. There's no cell service. There's no anything. So I'm just kind of just stranded and lost and have to find my way to any sort of help. And it's more likely that I run into the cannibals first. And then we've also seen they displayed superhuman strength. They have great hunting ability. So they're able to track you really, really well as well. So I just don't like my chances to survive this situation. As much as I think there's, you know, like I said, with all these, there's the boring answer. And it's like, oh, I would just not be in this place. I would not be in this place. But realistically, if I'm following the rules of the movie, I'd say I don't have the strongest chance to survive this situation. I'm not going to lie. Say for instance, if I ran into the cannibal group of men, right? I wouldn't necessarily be able to fight them unless I have like just some insane weaponry that I just stumbled across. But the odds of that very low. And they have, bows and arrows, they have hatchets and axes and machetes and all types of stuff. So I don't think I'm going to survive this situation. I'm not gonna lie. All right, y'all. And last but not least, we have The Strangers. In terms of this franchise, in terms of, let's just say, the original movie from 2008, let's go ahead and just say that one for simplicity's sake. Say it's just me and my lover in this cabin or in this little lodge house in the middle of nowhere for a honeymoon, or just whatever, not honeymoon, but just, the weekend, whatever the case may be. And this strange trio of motherfuckers just pull up on us, and they just want to just torture us because we just happen to be there. Would I survive this situation? I want to say yes. And the reason I say yes is because I noticed every time I watch this movie back that there's just so many just ill-advised, idiotic decisions that particularly the boyfriend in the movie makes, that I just feel like I wouldn't find myself making the same situation or the same decisions in the situation. And you just catch yourself thinking, okay, if I was in this movie, I would probably do something this way as opposed to doing the way he did it. So yeah, I feel like in terms of the probability scale, I'm gonna give myself an 85% chance to survive this one. 85% chance, and off the off chance that I just get caught up, that'll be the other 15%. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. I know this video has been a little bit longer. I've tried to make these videos a little bit more fleshed out, give you guys a lot of options to talk about in the comments down below. So again, like I said before, in the comments down below, let me know what you guys think in terms of all these movies. Do you think you would be able to survive these universes and the events in which that happen in these movies? Or do you think you're like me and a modest fellow, and you know that you would be cooked in a lot of these situations? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you, and like the video if you enjoyed. And if you happen to be new, like I said, big red button down below. We are on our way to 5K, and we ain't stopping no time soon, baby. So come join the family today. But I love y'all, and I will see you guys in the next one real soon. Peace out.